What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. We're doing things a little bit different here today, and it's going to be a voiceover. I had a friend come by and we were just messing around doing this install, and it was not the way to do a typical recording, but here we go. You can see this is the intake. Look at this quality. 4 months I waited for this bad boy to show up, but I'm telling you, when I felt it, and it was worth it visually. Okay, we're going to get into a couple little things in this video. Not too many bad things, not too many negatives, but what I can say is for a 4-month wait, I expected things to be a little bit smoother. They were not, so it is what it is. It be what it be. So again, that is the shield part, which is one of the main reasons, if you're going to ask, I picked this intake system over the AFE. Having the shield and the forged carbon fiber look, which is what I'm after. That's the theme I'm kind of stuck with based on the forged carbon fiber on the interior of this car. I had to get this, and otherwise it would have been like probably a LMI or a B Woody. Look at that. Look at that tube. Honestly, everything was very high quality, super lightweight. Look at the inside. It just felt very, very well made, honestly. Again, for a 4-month wait, and for this price tag, this is definitely one of those things that I feel it had to be. Otherwise, there's no way you could justify the price tag. Honestly, you just can't. But here's the overview, the look of what the stock intake looks like. It's ugly. There's that solenoid that's going to give us a couple bit of a problem, as always. And just showing you the connections and whatnot over here. And so the first steps are going to be disconnecting the connections. So we took that bad boy off. And again, like I said, it's not a typical how-to video. I'm just kind of giving you a glance and overview. There are install videos. That's taking another clip off on the top. There's the hose coming off. Oh, hose came off. Look at this. What a beautiful video. From there, we had to loosen up these clamps and then remove that whole segment of piping there. Look at that. Look at that stud. No, I'm just kidding. Totally not a stud. From there, look at that fast forward action, 4x speed. Beautiful editing, right? So there was a couple little screws there, which loosened up the top. That came off. There's the stock intake filter. That must come out. And then from there is the bottom of the box underneath that. So that has to come out too. Just be careful when you're pulling on things. There are hoses that you don't want to pull up and damage. And then there's the actual bracket piece underneath that. It all comes out, everything. Everything must go, flash sale. Has to go, get out, be gone, kick rock, see you later. Now from here, there's this. There's a little clip here and two right in front of it that you must remove so that there's a little opening. Same setup I had on my Trackhawk. So this wasn't new to me, except at the end, I'm probably going to see. I'm still, as the time of recording this my voice, I haven't decided, but I might modify that stock piece because this, unlike the AFE and other things, didn't come with it. This part right here I'm showing you on the actual reservoir to the left of where my hand is, there was a clip that comes out, and then here is a screw that must come out because this screw will be used later to secure part of like a little wing, a little arm of the actual rain shield to keep it more securely fastened to the chassis. So that has to come out. From there, this part, the top part of the box, goes to your bench. There's 3 of these. I didn't film the first 2, but you have to clip off the plastic rivets, almost is what they look like. And then you can basically remove that solenoid like that. Poop, comes right off. That's not the noise it made, but you can only imagine. So from there, that's done with that box. Now here's where fun starts happening here. I getting ready to put this onto the bracket. That's the bracket on the solenoid. And I'm looking, and there's supposed to be 3 screws that don't exist. They weren't there. So from here, we ended up driving to 3 different stores to find the correct size screw, and I ended up having to pick one that was longer. In this video, you can see where they attach the screws. I had to get longer ones from Home Depot and then order the correct ones from Amazon, which I ended up replacing, whatever. So you attach that bracket to one of the strut tower bolts. You put this bad boy in here. This part, not gonna lie, suckdaddy.com. That wasn't the funnest thing. Trying to angle it in and make sure you're not scratching up your forged carbon fiber, your $800+ forged carbon fiber part. That kind of sucked, so I would recommend having a buddy with you. Thankfully, I had mine. So we put that bad boy in there, positioned everything. You have two little fasteners on the bottom that just like makes that noise when it goes in. And then again, the little winglet that you have to attach back by the reservoir, the washer fluid reservoir. So that comes in, just make sure everything's nice and tight. I did end up having another small issue that we were about to see in a second. With one of the hoses, there's some vacuum line, I guess. I didn't like the way it was sitting and how it was tugging on it. So what I ended up doing was putting a tie strap on that bad boy. So I just wanted to alleviate some of the tension on there because it just didn't look good without it done that way. But this is basically what it's gonna look like. You can see the tie strap on the two hoses there. I think the intake itself looks absolutely beautiful. It fits with the theme that I'm planning on doing, with a lot of forged carbon fiber and black and silver and whatnot. I do have a full billet technology engine bay treatment on the way, so that will be coming. Stay tuned, and we're gonna finish the rest of this video without a recording.
You don't gotta go too.
This is like the shit we gotta do, Corsa. How are they gonna expect anybody to get this in there? Who was gonna get that in there? Who? Who was doing that? Who was getting this in here when I'm sanding it down and I still can't get it in there? This is not $850. This is like $8.50 worth of.
About $8.50.
Oh, nice. That's how that should have. Nice. Should have fit like that. Did you just rip ass?
Huh?
Oh my god, dude. Celebratory Bart.
Laugh sensor.
And then we're gonna highlight this real quick. That I gotta.
Oh yeah, you gotta cut the thing.
Cut that. I gotta cut that. Our OEM Plus.
Yeah, so this bong doesn't get
aftermarket modding. Wow, that's wild, man.
Oh shit.
Damn. Here you go. I'm going to do a recap real quick for anything that was a little bit confusing, and tell you my impressions of a couple things. Then I'm going to actually go out, drive this thing. I still have not driven it fully yet. I started it, let it, relax for a second. So I'm sure the fuel tables still haven't even adjusted themselves. Couple things about the install of this. The actual parts, I was missing 3 screws. They were part of over here. There is 3 little screws that attach to the solenoid. They're a lot longer right here than they should be. There's a reason for that, because I had to go pick up screws at Home Depot. I was supposed to have these, supposed to get these bad boys here. So these screws right here, that's exactly the size that you need. This is what was supposed to be, except they were supposed to be like button head. What I ended up doing is picking up this in black. These are coated stainless steel So I'll have like a hex bit instead of whatever the heck was supposed to come in here. Regardless, I'm going to change that in a minute. So they'll be shorter. I'm not going to have this droop down. So that part missing stunk. The getting of this all situated into here was kind of shitty. This has to tuck underneath a certain spot and get bolted back here. So this had to get released. So that is all fine now. You'll see a clip of me having to actually sand out a little bit more of this opening here so that I could actually attach this piece to the hood of this. Everything else wasn't too bad. You know, you transfer things. The actual material is incredible. It feels great. It's lightweight. It looks phenomenal. So I have to give credit for that. One thing I didn't really like is the heft of this hose. They didn't tell us to do it, and I didn't do it super tight here so that it's not like cutting off some crazy something here. But I put this here right next to or on this other tie strap area, just because with this drooping down, it was pulling this. So instead of this being flat here, I mean, I guess that's okay in their world. I didn't like how it looked. I am going to be adjusting this a little bit lower and this lower down here so that aesthetically it's better, but everything is good. You know, it's all done for right now. So like I said, I'm going to swap this out. We're going to do a little test drive. I don't love that there was no like hood opening or a piece that they designed to come out more, kind of like the AFE and the JLT. I have to admit, for waiting about 4 months from the order of this till getting it and having to go chase down 3 screws, it's very disappointing and annoying. So, you know, we'll see what it is. I wanted my exhaust and my intake to match, at least temporarily. So we'll see. But it does look cool. Before I go take this for a test drive, I just want to show you. I ended up going with, can I zoom in here? Ended up, oh man, I can't even get in. Here we go. Wait, this. Here. I ended up going with the black bolts. And the reason I did that is because they're flush. I like how they look, and I didn't need the washer because they already have the head that has the washer. Everything is super snug and tight. What I also did was move this down a little bit so it doesn't look as silly. And from there, we're gonna go take this for a test drive. So let's see what this does. Okay, I tried to get a couple clips of this whine inside. I had no whine inside. I could never hear it over the exhaust. Now I can hear it. 3rd gear, 4th gear. We got some whining, baby. It's the only whining I want to hear. The only kind of whining. I'm just trying to, like, you know, I haven't even full beansed it. I mean, that's typically not like me, but there's just a lot of people out today. It's Labor Day. But I don't want to beat this car up. I like this one. I'll leave this one for a little bit till I start molesting the motor. Can't wait to get a couple outdoor clips of driving at it like the other one. That will come in a minute. You'll see that in a minute, but it's coming. It's definitely louder. I like the tone of it. It sounds good. We're doing it, boys. Baby steps.